Hi guys, this is Svetlana from Cosplay, and today I'm talking about the very first costumes I've ever made. If you're watching my channel frequently, then you probably know me for costumes like this, or like that. But I'm also this, or this, and also that. If you're searching for cosplay on the internet or social media, you see all these amazing crazy builds like big armor, cool props, light up, whatever, and you feel easily intimidated simply because you think you're not good enough or you're not talented enough, you don't have the skill, and you compare yourself with these amazing artists. And that's the reason why I wanted to talk today about my very first 10 costumes and tell you how I get started. And for every project, I try to find one thing I really like and also something I would totally do different. No. I hope this shows you that we all start small, like we all start somewhere, and messing up things is totally okay because, you know, it's like part of the journey, part of the cosplay adventure, and you have to make mistakes because mistakes only let you improve your skills and learn your new things, and so it's good. So make shitty costumes, that's good. Shitty costumes. Shitty costumes are good. Yeah. So shitty costume number 1 was my great SAIYAMAN from Dragon Ball Z. Son Gohan as the Great Saiyaman from Dragon Ball Z was my very first costume, which I also took to my very first convention back in 2003. Back then, I was a huge fan of the Toriyama mangas and I absolutely loved his personality, so I wanted to bring him to life. The one thing I really like about the costume is that it actually brought me into this wonderful hobby. I mean, like with the Great Saiyaman, I discovered how much fun it is to dress up at a convention and like meet new friends and meet new people and, you know, just dork around at the convention like a stupid idiot. But yeah, it was a lot of fun and it was a great experience. The one thing I would probably improve about the costume is the whole costume, because for some reason I picked like shiny satin fabric and it looked absolutely awful. Also, I bought some ballerina shoes which were 2 sizes too small and like they were like this, like far too small for my gigantic Amazon German feet. I thought it would be okay, but it wasn't okay. I actually remade the whole costume a few years later, and this time I picked better fabric, shoes which had my size, and I got a nice helmet. Also, one little secret I have to share with you is that the year I made my SAIYAMAN, I also met Benny, and he totally fell in love with me in my SAIYAMAN costume. And he was like, Number 2 was a Moogle. So Benny got me into playing Final Fantasy, like all of Final Fantasies, and I really liked the Moogles. So I made a Moogle furry costume and I made like a whole hat and like a fluffy suit and everything. And then I went to the convention and I died. Like it was really hot in that. So I made a sexy Moogle version instead, which was more comfortable. So I made 2 costumes. So the one good thing about this costume is that despite of I already tried it at home and it was already killing me there, I still brought it to the convention and wore it there for a whole half hour until it completely killed me, and then I switched to my more comfortable Moogle, but I did it. Oh, and I learned that I will never do furry costumes ever again. And the one thing I would do different today is I would never make it. And for my sexy costume, I would wear shoes because for some reason I didn't wear shoes. Why didn't I wear shoes? I don't get it, but I would wear shoes. So the Moogle costume actually destroyed something deep at my soul, which can never be brought back again. So it took me 3 further years until I got back into cosplay again and made shitty costume number 3, my DRUID one from World of Warcraft. So back in 2006, I started playing World of Warcraft with my very best friend Selena, and I absolutely loved the idea to dress up as my own avatar. Actually back then, my Night Elf Druid Kamui. And yeah, but I was really bad at the game. I just didn't got the set I really wanted to get. So instead, I made it as a costume in real life. It took me half a year to make the whole costume, and it was super fun since I was able to share ideas and also materials with my friend Selena, especially since we're working on the same concept, like the Druid tier set from World of Warcraft. And it was just a really special experience since I went away from sewing and started with crafting my very first props and armor back then. So the one thing I would probably change about my costume is that I would wear a wig. Like, I don't know why, but back then I connected wigs like with people who were losing hair and like wearing like these fluffy things on their head, but I didn't really connected it with cosplay. So instead I used just spray paint and like try to paint my hair purple. And I also, like, my makeup was shitty. I used some eyeshadow, like put it like there and that, and I thought that's okay. And oh my god, I looked awful. But my costume looked kind of okay, so I hope that nobody will look at my face. And yeah, okay, slightly less shitty costume number 4. Druid tier 3 from, again, World of Warcraft. Another year, another Druid. So I was still playing WoW with my friend Selena, and we already got a new armor set with better stats and like more fancy armor stuff. So this time we wanted to get a wig and also body painting, like make everything proper. The only problem is we were still looking like shit. So we actually used like water-based makeup, and we applied it really thick, like 1 inch thick or something, to make sure it's completely covered perfectly. The only problem was it was a really hot summer day, and like it slowly dried out and cracked open everywhere. So like at some point my face looked like a shattered window, and I was like, why did I use this weird wig? It looked like a blue tribble on my head. And also like this fabric choice was really weird looking back then, but I think my armor skills improved, and also I really liked my staff, so at least something got better. Shitty costume number 5, Priestess Row from Okami. So we're actually in 2009, and in 6 years I still didn't learn anything, didn't got better in sewing, and still using shiny shitty fabric. I don't know why. Why? I absolutely love the video game Okami, and one of my favorite things was Ninetales sword. I wanted to cosplay with my friend Selena again, so we made 2 versions of Ninetales. Selena became the furry version, and I was the Priestess Row version of Ninetales, and we both made the sword actually together. The most struggle I had with the costume was actually like the bra size. Like, she has really gigantic monstrosity boobs in the game, and like mine are small and tiny. So I just tried to keep on padding and like putting more bras on, but like the more bras I was wearing, the tinier my boobs were becoming. And I was like, boobs, where are you? And like, I don't know, but I had a lot of fun making the sword, and like it was great. I played around this time with some wood or cardboard and also newspaper, and also making the gradient wasn't easy, but it was a great learning experience. And also cosplaying again with Selena was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed being with her at the convention again. Number 6, Druid tier 6 from, again, World of Warcraft, because I like World of Warcraft. Druid tier 6 is my absolutely favorite set from World of Warcraft, but it was a little bit more naked, so this costume was actually the very first time I started working out specifically for costume, and I lost, I think, 10 kilos, took me like a few months or something like that, just for Druid tier 6. It was a great experience, and I also did plenty of crafting and played around with different materials, and really enjoyed wearing the costume at the convention. Please remember though that cosplay is for everybody, no matter of gender, age, skin color or body shape. But for me personally, it was a motivation to become more fit and active, and I simply wanted to become as fit as a night elf. That's that simple. My favorite part about this costume is that it was quite easy and fast to craft. It was really comfortable to wear, and yeah, it looked really hot in that. And the thing was, I never got the set in the game, so I finally got it in real life, which was even better. Also, since then, I just kept on doing armor bikinis because they're easy to travel with, easy to wear, and they're looking good. Number 7 was my very first full armor set, which was the Asmodean Gladiator from AION. So before this project, I was mainly working with expanding foam and like paper mache, and now I wanted to do some proper armor. And on the internet, I actually found a product which was called Wonder Flex. It was supposed to be like a thermoplastic thing. I wasn't really able to find any information about that, but I thought like hopefully it will work. Just ordered it and tried my best. And yeah, I just tried to experiment and try to figure out things. And since my friend Selena did the same costume with me, at least we were able to share ideas. Also, instead of using body painting all over my body this time, I used makeup only on my face and used a bodysuit for the rest of my costume, which was much more comfortable, and I would say also an improvement for the last costume. And if I would change one thing, I would probably make the whole costume out of foam this time, so it's much more comfortable, especially since the whole costume weighed, I think, a little bit around 10 kilos. This was really exhausting. Or I would make a sexy version. So we're now in 2010 and 7 years passed since I made my very first costume. And now we are on number 8, Druid tier 8. And I still playing World of Warcraft? Like, yeah, I'm old. Again a druid. And this time it would be different. Like, really. So I didn't use any shiny fabric this time. Instead, I was working a lot with furniture leather to accomplish like this very wild leathery look of the druid robe. And I also worked the very first time with electronics. I was super proud of that because I was really scared of it before. But at the end, I was able to install some cool light effects to my prop and also my stuff. And it was in general, again, a cool experience to cosplay with my friends and also to be together at the convention and just like impress everybody with lights, because back then nobody used lights and everybody was like, oh, ah. After making so many druids before, this was one I was truly proud of, and I think I wouldn't really change a lot about the costume. And I was just happy that after like trying so many different things out, I finally finished the costume I was happy with. So I wouldn't really change anything. So next costume. Number 9, another set from AION, but this time all sewing. So I got such a confidence boost from my past druid costume, which I was really proud of. So I thought I can do everything. Like I can do even sewing, but I couldn't. So if you take some steps away and like look at the costume from a good distance, then it looks good. But if you come closer and closer, and I see all the seams and all the details, like, ah! So okay, I didn't improve with my sewing machine and I still had plenty to learn, but at least I tried. Haha. So the part I liked the most about this costume was that despite of I wanted to burn it down and throw it away, I still finished it and went even to the convention where everybody could see me wearing it and also could see my really bad seams. And what would I improve on this costume? I just would completely remake it from scratch. See, even with 7 years of experience, I still produced crap. And now the very last costume for today, number 10, ALEXSTRASZA from World of Warcraft again. ALEXSTRASZA was actually a commission by the company who made the World of Warcraft trading card game, and they asked me to make the costume and wear it for the European events for the World of Warcraft trading card game. I always kind of wanted to make sexy costumes, but I had plenty of body insecurities and really didn't felt comfortable with myself. But now, since I had to make ALEXSTRASZA, I was basically forced to step out of my comfort zone and wear the costume. And while it was really weird to wear it the very first time, it became like kind of okay over the time. Like right now I'm at this point that even if I'm like completely half naked in front of all the masses at a convention, I don't really care because everything is more covering than ALEXSTRASZA. And it was also the very first time I actually worked with EVA foam, which was a great experience. And in addition, I think like the whole student part-time job was really cool, especially since I stayed at the company for plenty of further years and also made other costumes, and it was just a really cool opportunity. We made it! Oh my god, 10 costumes! But I hope, like, to all of you guys who want to get into cosplay and like try to compare yourself and think like I have all the tools and like all the knowledge in my head, like I also had had no idea what I was doing. I was doing mistakes as well, and that's totally fine. That's part of the whole journey, part of the whole adventure. And you get better with every single project. So don't be frustrated if your very first costume or the second or the third don't turn out just as you want, because you know, like, this makes things much more exciting to get better and to learn. So don't give up, just keep on doing and have fun. Yay! So if you like this video and want to see more of my costumes, let me know in the comments. And as always, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, consider to support us on Patreon, and see you soon. Bye bye!